Welcome back, everybody. Today we're getting into something that's not quite so sexy, but certainly is essential for a good range experience, and that's Ear Pro. We're going over the Impact Sports here. This is the electronic hearing protection. There's certainly some pros and cons to it. We'll get into that after we step inside, but for now, just make the steel ring a little bit more, at least hope to. And after that, step inside, go in detail over like what I think of them, and there definitely are some cons. Contrary to a lot of my videos, I know you guys always complain that I don't point out the bad things, so certainly I will do that here. Some basic specs on these suckers is that they weigh 14 ounces. The claimed NRR, which is the noise reduction rating, I believe, is 22. And basically how they function is once you turn them on, anything above 82 decibels is blocked out. And that sort of works through an attenuation process, sort of like the camera on my microphone, I should say, on my camera here does. So when I'm talking, it sounds the same as it does, generally speaking, when I'm shooting. Obviously, in real life, that's totally different. So that's what the Impact Sports here tend to do. However, one criticism I'm going to have of it up front, with these, if someone's talking to you while someone's shooting, when the shot actually breaks, everything sort of gets minimized. So when that shot breaks, the person's voice who's talking to you also sort of gets minimized, more so than other like sort of high-end ear protection, where it'll only break the high end of sound, if you will, or minimize the high end of sound. This will minimize everything during that split second. So that's sort of one con of it. Is it a huge deal? No, absolutely not, but it's just something to think about. Basic function of them is that there is one on-off switch, as opposed to some electronic Ear Pro, which have it on both sides. This only has it on one, which I do think is nice. Less buttons, less things that get accidentally turned on. It's a very positive click when you turn it on, which I'll stop talking so you can actually hear. And when you turn it all the way up, it goes all the way up to 4x amplification. So one thing that's a huge advantage of electronic Ear Pro for self-defense purposes, in my opinion, is the fact that you actually hear better with electronic ear protection on. At least I do. Even with these ones, which are sort of on the lower end of the spectrum, if you will. I mean, there's electronic Ear Pro, as many of you know, that go up to like $300. And these ones come to market generally around $40. So that's definitely a big pro of them. With these kind of Ear Pro, or all the way up to the high end ones, you tend to hear better. So in a home defense situation, Ear Pro, electronic Ear Pro, in my opinion, is a very viable option. That way you can take your shots should you need to, as well as still communicate afterwards. You also hear the threat better, in my opinion. So definitely a pro there, and so you can really crank that volume up if you need to. Other features are going to be the headphone jack that you see over here. So if you want to use these with your iPod or iPhone, whatever the case may be, you certainly can do that. They also have relatively comfortable cups here. They are removable and replaceable if you want to. So you just pull them off like that and you put them on, you slide them back underneath those little polymer sections there, and they clip right back in. They do make aftermarket sections for these, so if you guys want gel or something like that to add to the comfort, they are available out there for you. When you turn these on, one thing that is definitely nice about it is if you turn it on and leave it on and forget, like I certainly have done before, they do have an auto shut off after 4 hours. So they run on 2 AAA batteries, and the power is right under here underneath this little black piece, and you can see them in there. These ones have been on there for a long time. I'm not sure what the exact runtime is. I've had these for 2 years. I've only changed the batteries once, and I use them a good bit. So I'm not sure what that can tell you, but they definitely don't suck batteries, I guess is one way to put it. Another nice thing about these is that they fold up into a very small package, so that when you take them with you or put them in your range bag, they don't take up a lot of room. Some other cons to them is that my biggest gripe with them is that depending on the actual iPro that you're wearing, assuming you're wearing iPro, the seal on the cups can sometimes get broken. So your NRR of 22, as soon as that seal is broken, it goes down dramatically. Now, speaking of that NRR of 22, it's sort of on the lower end of ear protection, if you will. So anything like maybe an AR or handguns or something like that, you're going to be just fine with it. It's not going to hurt your ears, and there's not going to be an issue there. However, you start getting into some sort of ladder guns, like I believe I was shooting an M44 in the beginning of this video with these on, you start to sort of notice that they're kind of loud. So if that's the case, if that's what you're shooting, you may end up wanting to double up and wear plugs and these. But for a lot of folks that are just going to be shooting handguns or something like that, they should do the job just fine. A con for me is that versus some of the Peltor offerings out there, these ones seem to just not fit my head right. Now I realize I have a potato head, as some of you guys have seen in my comments. Some of you guys follow me over on Facebook, get the joke. If you don't, either way, you notice that I have sort of a relatively ugly head. So maybe it's just me. I know a lot of folks really like the way these fit. On me, they don't. So they fit a little bit sort of awkwardly, and I do prefer the actual feel of some of the Peltor offerings, but the ear protection, hearing protection is pretty much identical in my opinion. But really, these things are $40. So $40 for a quality pair of lightweight, relatively sleek ear pros that aren't going to interfere with the cheek wall. There's a lot of pros going for these, and there's a reason that you see them a lot, pretty much at any range you go to. So if you guys have any questions about these or anything else I didn't cover here in the video, or something I covered in the video, maybe you need some clarity on, you can always post below in the comments section. You can also post over at my Facebook page as always. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing, and I hope to see you in the next video.